Hello and welcome to this short presentation on copywriting for social media. Social media's accessibility, reach, and ability to facilitate conversations with your target audience make it a key tool for small businesses. If you're in business and you're not on some form of social media, then you are missing out. While your sales might not come directly from social channels, social is a really important element to every marketing mix to increase brand awareness and reach more customers. Many of my small business clients find social media a bit of a challenge. It can be a bit hard, a bit tedious, and often gets put to the very bottom of the pile. When my clients come to me and say they're stuck with their social and creating consistent content on social media, a large element of this feeling of stuckness is writing copy or copywriting, which is a personal passion of mine. So straight up, what is copy or copywriting? Copy is the words that you use in your marketing, and this applies to all the words you use to describe your business and your brand, including your website, your packaging, your brochures, and of course, your social media. In short, content tells, copy sells. So who am I to talk about copywriting? Very quickly, my name is Jane Mackay from Jane Mackay Communications, a marketing consultancy based in Brisbane. I have a master's in media and communications and a specialisation in copywriting from the Australian Institute of Copywriting. I started my freelance copywriting business in 2009 and began my social media journey in 2012 when Facebook for Business was first introduced. My business has evolved a lot over the last 12 years, and I now provide a wide range of marketing services, and I manage social media for multiple clients. Therefore, I spend a lot of time talking about social media with my clients. So first up, social media copywriting. Remember that content marketing is a long game. Customers won't magically appear out of nowhere each time you post. However, remember, you're not talking to no one. Every time you create or publish a post on social media, you are building relationships. So bear that in mind. From my perspective, marketing is a tool that makes the sale easier. It really is that simple. Use your marketing to help your customers to get to know, like, and trust you, and bring them along on a journey so that the sale is the next step. Think of social media as social selling. Social selling is the practice of using a brand's social media channels to connect with customers and clients and help them to develop a connection with your brand and engage with your potential leads. So think of social selling as modern relationship building. Actively connecting with potential customers on social media can help you be the first brand a customer or client considers when they're ready to make the purchase. So social media can replace outdated relationship building and sales techniques like cold calling, which very few people enjoy either doing or receiving. I know I get a stack of cold calls and I hate them. So using social media is effective. In the last 6 months of 2020, Australia and New Zealand saw approximately 1/3 of people aged 18 to 34 make a purchase via social media. And while this might not be your demographic right now, they will be in the future. And this purchasing trend will only increase over time. So you may be posting to social media every day and just not seeing the traction that you want. You may have taken courses or done challenges from social media gurus, but you're not making progress. And many businesses are so focused on follower numbers that they're missing some of the crucial aspects of social media success. Or they're just focusing on saying, buy my thing, and wondering why no one buys their thing. You don't ask someone to marry you on the first date, and social media is the same. You need to warm up your audience in a natural, aligned way that feels good to both you and your audience. So while I'm going to focus on copywriting today, I will touch on other elements of social media as they're all parts of the same puzzle. And when they fall into place, you will see the effort translating into sales, not just follower numbers or vanity metrics. Now, this may or may not be something that resonates with you, but in marketing, there's always something new to learn. So there are a few key elements to creating copy that engages your ideal clients and converts into sales. In saying that, social media is actually not specifically about selling. Social media is a place to develop relationships with your clients and customers and help them to understand your brand, your product, and how it will help them. So, as I mentioned earlier, the sale will be the next step. In saying that, the sale rarely happens actually on the social media channel, but usually after exposure on your social media to your messaging, understanding what you're selling, why you're selling it, and how your product or service helps your audience. And once you've used social media to address your audience's frequently asked questions and break down those barriers to sale, and then encourage them to either private message you to find out more or send them off the platform to your website, which is generally the goal, for example, to then buy from you. So the most important element of copywriting for social media is knowing who you are speaking to. And FYI, your audience is not everyone. Many small businesses skip over this crucial step of defining their target audience specifically and understanding who you are speaking to, what their problems are, what the questions and objections are in their minds, and being able to speak to your target audience with empathy and in a way that understands them and demonstrates an understanding of their problems is the key to effective copywriting on social media. So take the time to understand your target audience so you can meet them where they're at. There is a free download called the Dream Client Workbook in the pink banner on the homepage of my website, jmackaycommunications.com.au, which will give you a really good starting point to get to know your target audience on a deeper level to help your social media copy have greater cut through and engagement. Knowing your target audience intimately will help you to create social media copy that your customers find empathetic. You want them to read it and say to themselves, this person really understands my problem, and therefore this person has the solution to my problem. Copy that helps people resonate with who you are and what you're saying will literally magnetize your ideal customers to you. They will read it and they will remember you and want to work with you or buy your product. So have a think about where your target audience are at when they're reading or watching your social media posts. So what's happening in their lives that they are struggling with or looking for a solution to? What does their day look like and how might they be feeling? And most importantly, what does that person need to hear from you that makes them feel that you are the person with the solution to their very specific problem? Always, always keep in mind who you are writing to in your social media posts. The copy that you write in your social media is central to conveying your message and your brand personality. Brand personality, what? Humans love to buy from other humans, and no matter whether you're a service-based business or a product-based business, ultimately people on social media want to develop relationships with the brands and the people behind the brands, not just to buy. You need to get clear on your brand personality first. Your brand personality is effectively how you want your brand to be perceived by your target audience in your market. So a brand personality is essentially a few keywords that describe the essence of your brand as if it were a human. Confident, bold and commanding, polite, professional and charming, or cheeky, coy and flirtatious. These are all possible brand keywords to define your brand voice or your brand personality. So why is this brand voice and brand personality important? So simply put, as marketers, we don't want to break the illusion of a company's personality. If the voice that's coming from the brand through their social media is inconsistent, the communication will be less effective. And without personality, brand is much less likely to gather a following of authentic and engaged fans, preferably raving ones that become advocates for your product or services. So take a few minutes to describe your brand using some keywords and think about this brand personality or brand voice every time you post to social media or write or draft a social media post or create a video or a reel, and share this brand personality with your copywriter if you outsource your social media copywriting to someone else. Infusing your social media copy with your own or your brand's personality will help your customers to get to know, like, and trust you and your brand, which are the keys to successful marketing. One of the other big mistakes I see my small businesses making or my clients make is just posting buy my thing all the time. There is a wide variety of content to share on social media beyond promoting your product. Promotional content is just one element of social media marketing. So what else are you going to write about, you may ask? One of the simplest and easiest ways to come up with ideas is to formulate your key pillars of what you do and why you do it. And these become the central themes of all your content, also known as content pillars. Simple. So for me, it is mindset, branding, website design, content and copywriting. And so everything I write about on social media is around these key themes. So think about the key themes in your business, be it a product or service-based business. What is it that you do that helps your customers and clients? How do you change their lives? What do they need to know about your product or service that positions you as an expert and adds value to their lives and can change their lives? Your content will need to consider a range of different types of content that encourages engagement. So number one, we have educate, posts to educate your audience about your business. Number two, we have entertainment, fun content that reflects your sense of humor and humanizes your brand. We all love a laugh, especially in COVID times. Three, inspire, make a difference to your customers' lives by inspiring them to take action. Four, inform, keep your audience up to date with the latest industry news and trends, and this helps position you as an expert or thought leader in your field. Five, convert. So content is a waste of time unless it leads to converting them to customers. And I'll go into my recommended posting schedule that includes these promotional posts in a moment. So take a minute to write down the 3 to 6 core pillars that you could write about in your business and brainstorm post ideas that come under each of those pillars. You can use a spreadsheet, a plain piece of paper, or a tool like mindmeister.com to mind map your ideas. And if you get stuck, head over to answerthepublic.com to explore what people are asking online right now. And it's a really incredible tool, so I encourage you to check it out. So what else can you write about? Think about the frequently asked questions in your business. These are your clients' barriers to sale. And if you answer them in your social media, you're helping your client audience get closer to making a purchase. And you're building up the know, like, and trust factors because they think that you and feel that you are the person who has the solution to their problem because you understand them. So think about myths or misunderstandings about your product, service, or industry, or mistakes that people often make when using your product or service, and share simple how-tos and help people learn more about your product or service and how to use it. And my personal favorite, behind the scenes content, which audiences absolutely love. And my clients' most popular posts are always photos of the people behind the business. Tell your brand story. So again, think about the problems your clients have and the solutions you provide. Creating posts around small tips and tricks are all adding value, establishing authority, and building trust for your audience. And the great thing about social posts is that they're generally quite short. So one idea can be used for 5 different social media posts. Consumers want brands to deliver content that educates and helps them, not content that sells to them. So with any content, social or otherwise, always provide more value than you sell. Effectively, a like or a follow is a value exchange. So bear that in mind, is if you're only selling to people, which you won't do anymore, people won't want to connect. So I recommend the 4-3-2 rule of content: 4 posts to help or add value, 3 connection posts, and 2 crucial promo posts. 3 connection posts a week to show your brand personality. So selfies behind the scenes, tell the stories behind your brand, and people love to learn about all the people behind your business. The 4 posts to help or add value, I've gone through a heap of content earlier in this video, so just review them and review your ideas. And 2 promo posts, so you have permission to sell. Use some carefully crafted calls to action to ask for the sale or encourage action in some other way. So how are you going to actually write this post? So my biggest recommendation is to write just like you would talk to a customer or a friend. Explain a problem to a customer or answer a customer's question using the voice that you would usually use. Now, if this feels really awkward, and I totally get that, use a voice to text app on your phone and just literally talk into your phone as you would talk to a customer. And this is one of my favorite techniques for getting into flow. Next, put yourself in the mind of your target audience. How will you stop that scroll and get your audience to engage? Where do you envisage your dream client right now when they're receiving your content? What have they experienced today? What is their problem that they are seeking a solution to? So get really into the mood, tap into that emotion of what they're experiencing, feeling today. And so here are some of my most helpful tips to structure your posts. So pay attention, because the first two are the most important. Number one, when writing social media posts, choose just one idea from all the ideas that you've mapped out and work out the one benefit that your audience can gain from that post. So one piece of really good value content. It's all about delivering value in the form of education, entertainment, or inspiration, infused with your gorgeous brand personality. So number two, make sure you have a strong close, one clear, concise call to action so that your audience knows exactly what to do next. But you are, hang on, Jane, you said not to sell on every post. So you're not promoting your product or service on every single post, but always take the opportunity to warmly and naturally invite your customers to learn more about your business, either through direct messages, visiting your website. People love DMs at the moment, but send them off platform to visit your website, or downloading a free resource that you may have created to build your email list. There are lots of calls to action that can feel completely natural. So jot down some that you have seen or heard that feel natural to you. Have a look around Instagram and see what resonates with you. Next, think about emotion. Think about how you want your customers to feel when they read your social media posts. Understood, heard, validated, inspired, reassured. Now, if you're not confident in writing, you can run your audience, your content through a tool like Grammarly.com to check your sentence structure and correctness. And make sure that when you write, just bear in mind what feels natural to you, and just edit it, get a friend to read it, and make sure that you feel really happy with it, and run it through Grammarly.com, as I said. And finally, social media isn't all about the copy. The graphics are super important too. So explore tools like canva.com to create scroll stopping graphics, and unsplash.com for license-free stock images that you can use for free and license-free. And just a word on that, you can't use random images that you find on Google and use them in your social media, as you're breaking all sorts of copyright laws. And that's the other copyright, not copywriting. And remember, make sure you share photos of you and your team. Humans love to buy from other humans. So lastly, and very quickly, a question I always get asked is, what about hashtags? Hashtags are so individual to each business and each niche. Do some research, test your hashtags, and you can use a tool like flick.tech to create some sets of hashtags to use. I recommend using all 30 on Instagram, and using a scheduler like later.com to put them in the first comment, 2 to 5 on Pinterest, up to 5 on LinkedIn, and I use them quite judiciously on Facebook. 2 to 4 is my recommendation, but as with all things social media, these recommendations change all the time depending on the algorithm. So that's it. I hope you found that useful. You can visit my website, janemackaycommunications.com.au, for a bunch of resources to help you with your marketing, including blog posts, videos, podcasts, and of course, come follow me on my own social media channels to learn more. And I hope you have a wonderful day.